Okay, guys, here we go. This is part 2, and this is intended for anybody running a conventional type rig, i.e. 7300, KENWOOD, YEASU, any rig with a built-in sound card that connects to the computer via USB cable with a USB audio codec in the sounds panel. Here we go. What you're looking at is a 7300. It's what I'm familiar with. I do not have a YEASU or a KENWOOD, but I'm assuming, you know what they say about assumptions, could be wrong. It should be fairly similar. Now, this is for passing the audio in and out of the radio virtually. So you can run the VST host TX package to pump your TX audio into your rig, and also to use the RxDAP system on the output. Okay, we're going to start with the TX side first. So assuming you have your driver installed for your rig and it is connected via USB cable, go ahead and light up your power supply, turn it on. The first place we're going to go is, just to give you a quick update, this is the website. I will have the link to these pages in the description. All of the download links are on these pages. This is the TX side, and this is the RX side. Okay, all the download links are there. And for the RX side right here, I will have this video placed in here as well, so you can find I want you guys to be able to find everything in one place. All right, that's my goal here, to make it as easy as possible. Okay, back to get over here to this screen. You need to watch the first video. I'm not going to go back through all of this stuff. As far as install, download, and what you have to do, you will need Voicemeeter Potato or Banana. Again, Potato offers full ASIO support, lower latency, and more outputs, hardware outputs. As you can see up here, there are 5 hardware outputs. There are 3 on Banana. Banana is free. There's only 3 on Banana. I need all hardware outputs because I have stuff going everywhere. Like I said, I push audio to OBS. I have multiple rigs, and they're all patched into this system. So if you're just running one radio and you don't really care about maximum speed and latency, the lowest possible latency, Voicemeeter Banana will do it for you. Again, the only difference is Potato has full ASIO support, which means you can, on your input, your hardware input over here for your microphone, you can, this will run in ASIO, providing the lowest latency. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, because your rig, these rigs don't function like an Anon, Sun, anything like that runs over LAN. Those radios run on a LAN. Much lower latency on LAN, very low. Because your rig is connected through USB, there's going to be inherent latency there, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, it's still pretty good, but there's nothing you can do about it. So it may not be worth running Potato. It may be worth just running Banana. I'll just say that up front. Okay, let's get going. So assuming you have the rig is on, power supply is on, the rig is turned on, you have it connected via USB, drivers are installed. What you need to do is go to your sounds panel. This is Windows 10. Right click on the speaker icon, open up the sounds panel, show you what you need to do here first to get it running. So if you go to playback, make sure that your USB audio codec is visible. Mine is right here. What you want to do is go in here, click properties, go to advanced, make sure she's running at 48 kilohertz, 16-bit 48K, that's good. Now go to the recording tab, find your USB audio codec right here, and right click, and go to advanced, 48 kilohertz, that's good, that's where you want it. Now what I would do with these rigs, the next thing you want to set on this particular one in the recording tab, go to levels, go ahead and set it to start with around 50%. So I have mine at 51. Listen, here's the catch. Click on listen and hit this drop down, and you're going to need Voicemeeter Potato or Banana open. You need to get your receive audio. This is for your receive audio. You need to pipe this to voice meter. Okay? So what you want is voice meter input. So select voice meter input out of this drop down. Click listen to this device, apply, and OK. That's done. That's all you need to do there. Now, remember, make sure your primary sound card, whatever you're using for a sound card, is set to default device. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to hear any audio from your browser and your computer and stuff like that. That, by default, is going to use the default device. So if you have it set to your USB audio codecs, it's not going to, it'll still work with the transceiver, but you're not going to hear any audio from like YouTube or anything else like that. All right, that's done. Hold on for a second. Okay. Hopefully the audio is not too hot. I saw it just spike just now. I don't know why, because I'm running a limiter. Anyways, besides the point. Alrighty, over here to voice meter potato. Remember how I said to set up in the first video, to set up how it communicates with your VST host, TX system, which is this right here behind voice meter potato. That's still valid. You have to do that. However, here's the additional thing you need to do to get it to communicate with a 7300, YEASU, KENWOOD, whatever. Remember the USB audio codec? You need to set up one of these hardware outs, whichever one isn't being used. I chose A3. Come up here to A3. Click that. And I have WDM Wasapi set to speakers USB audio codec. What this will do is it will push your processed audio to the rig. Okay, so make sure that's set there. Turn on the A3 button, wherever you place that, wherever you set on one of these hardware outputs to the USB audio codec speakers. If it's A2, A3, A4, A5, whatever, make sure you turn on the associated button here under the voice meter, the virtual inputs, voice meter aux 1. That's communicating with your TX processing system. If you don't click that button on, you'll have no audio going to the rig. So this will push it virtually through the USB cable into the radio. All right, once that's done, you're good to go. Now, you're not going to have audio into the rig quite yet. So I need to show you how to make that happen. Again, this is for the ICOMs. So what you're looking at is the 7300. What you need to do is you need to go to Menu, Set, Connectors, and the very first thing you need to do, okay, you'll see this right here. This is how I have mine set up, and it works perfect. All right, data off mod, you need to set that to USB right here. Now, if you hit your down arrow, you'll see data mod, set that to USB. Okay, that's a critical one because it's not going to grab the audio from your USB connection. So that has to be set to USB. Now back up, you'll see, where are you? Right here, USB mod level. Okay, the mic gain is not going to work anymore because you're not pushing audio into the front connector on the radio, into the mic connector. It's coming in through USB. So now the USB mod level becomes your mic gain. So I have mine set at 87. Yours is going to be different. It depends on, come over here. It depends on where this slider is set on voice meter aux 1. The higher you push this slider up, the more audio is going to be pushed into the rig. So if you're overdriving the mic level and voice meter, you're not clipping voice meter potato, you come in here to USB mod level and you make the adjustment there to get the ALC. Oh, I usually run mine anywhere from 75 to 90%. All right. That's critical. So once that's done, you're good to go. All right. So if I find a clear frequency here, let's spin up here. My drive level is at 0, even though the ICOM does put out just a touch of audio. I'm going to make sure the frequency is clear. I don't see anything there. I really don't like that. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's go up in here because those guys get on 22 sometimes. A 222. Let's go to 37. And I'm going to just bump it and talk into the mic and watch the ALC right there. Test, test, 1, 2. It's a little hot. Test, 1, 2. K1 GMM. Okay, so we've got audio coming through there. So what I need to do is I need to go back in here. I need to drop the mod level. Let's bring this down to 80%. Let's back out of there. Hit it again. Test, 1, 2. Audio still a little hot. K1 GMM. All right, let's do it again. Mod level, let's drop it to, let's go to about 70. Test 1, 2, audio, that's good. K1 GMM. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. So that's working. That's how you do it. That'll get your virtual audio into the ICOM. Or any rig, but you're going to have, and the other radios, like I said, I have no idea how to get in there, what settings you have to change to grab the audio on the USB cable. Now, the audio is being pushed out of the USB cable too. So let's get over to, you don't have to do anything in the ICOM for this, except for one thing. Your RF gain is going to be the primary driving force for the RxDAP right here. I'm just going to say that. This is how this system is set up. So let's get back over to. So remember how I said in the sounds panel, back into sounds, and you go to the recording tab. You see the microphone USB audio codec? This is your receive audio right here. Remember, if you right click, go to properties and go to listen, we set that to voice meter input, okay? And we check listen to this device. So when you did that, the radio was on, you should see this meter moving. That's your receive audio from the ICOM. Then what you need to do is, remember we talked about VB cable. You need one virtual audio cable. So, hopefully you downloaded and installed that off the link, and make sure you check to make sure the cable is running in the sounds panel at 48 kilohertz. And if that's good, come up here to hardware outs and choose one of the hardware outs and put that cable onto one of the hardware outs. Mine right now is an MME, and it's running on a line 1 virtual audio cable. Now, I don't have VB cable in this, like I said before, because I have I can have like a dozen cables in here. I'm running a virtual audio cable pack. You only need one. So choose VB cable. You can either choose MME or WDM Wasapi. Either one probably will work. I just choose MME because it's very happy running there. So set that to VB cable on whatever hardware out you choose. Mine's A2. So remember where that is. And what you want to do is you want to come down to the voice meter input right here, and you want to click on A2 or whatever hardware out you set that cable on. That will push the audio down the VB cable. And then what you need to do is come over here and come over to the RxDAP, download instructions, all that other stuff, and configuring this is all in the on the site and on the page, the web page. What you're seeing here, this is my Supertone Clear AI plugin. This is awesome. I hadn't run it before, so I just plugged the ICOM in today. Holy crap, wait till you hear this. This, if you're thinking about buying a full-blown SDR like a Non or Sun, I'm telling you, the only advantage you're going to have is being able to listen wider than 3.6 and being able to transmit wider than, let's say, 2.9. I know the KENWOODs, YEASUs, they're capable of transmitting to 4, so score on that. So really the only, when you hear this actually beats a lot of the, or equals the full-blown SDRs. All right. It absolutely smokes the native SDRs natively. So, but again, this plugin is about $100. Worth every penny. It's an AI plugin and works a treat on these types of radios. And I'm going to show you the difference when I click it in and out. So actually, I got to get the headphones on. I'll show you how to get this communicating. It's exactly the same as what I showed you guys in the first video, but I'm going to run through it again. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so let's run through the setup. Now, this package, unfortunately, I am going to update this package because I put some stuff in here for the ICOM. 2 different RxDAP systems. This runs a Supertone Clear. This is $100. And the other package is, or the other one is the ICOM VST RX. That is the completely free version. It does not use a Supertone Clear. If you care about noise reduction, that is worth $100. I'm telling you right now. You can spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on a transceiver, and this will absolutely smoke any of the noise reductions on those transceivers. Humiliating. I'm just telling you. When you hear it, you'll be like, holy crap. So what I'm going to do, let's get, I'm going to go over to a frequency here. And before I get there, I'm actually going to run through again the setup. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to come to devices, click wave. You want your input set to your virtual audio cable. If you're running VB cable, you want to select MME VB cable in the dropdown. Make sure that's selected, and the output port should be your sound card, whatever sound card you're running. Set it to 48 kilohertz. I set mine to 500 samples because I'm not too worried about latency. It's still pretty snappy. And with a USB on connection from the radio to the computer, there's going to be inherent latency there. Like I said, you can't do anything about it. It doesn't run through a local LAN, which is very, very quick. Or direct connection to the computer via LAN, which is the way I have my radio set up. It's terrifyingly quick. It's just you can't get around it. There's no way to fix that. All right. Still pretty good. All right. Once that's done, click OK. Boom. You're good to go. I'm going to actually refresh this. So if you go to wave and you click OK, it will flush the buffers and it will start fresh. So click OK and we're good. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ICOM on the same screen so you can see what's going on. Let's choose that. Okay, that should be good because I have to show you something with the ICOM as well. All right, so I am going to unmute this, and I'm going to make sure she's not too hot, so I'm going to mute the audio, and I'm going to zero beat someone yapping. Stand by, you guys. I'm trying to find not so much of a transient signal. There's so much terrible audio. Oh, there's Vito. All right, we'll listen to Vito. Here we go.
Very, very dry, and that that's the outcome of what happens when you mulch them and they're that dry. And they're you can really mulch a huge pile when they're dry. When they're wet and they're stick to the ground, it gets stuck under the lawnmower. Not a good time to be doing them when they're wet.
Yeah, when I was doing the front of my house, I have a hill. I'm on the hill here.
Okay, as you can see, that's ridiculous. I'm going to kick it out, and you can hear what it sounds like without it running. So here we go. Bring it back in.
Pardon my language. I'm going to start a forest fire. So I freaked out, got off it, and tamped it up. But the leaves hit the motor and started smoking.
Yeah, I guess you gotta watch that. Yeah. Well, in my case here, I have like a little cove at the end of my street, which is right, like my property is right at the end of the street. And at first, when I was blowing them, I was kind of mulching them and bagging it. And I think I must have bagged about 8 or 9 bags, and put them out. And then I realized that every second day there was a huge pile, and I thought, this is going to be ridiculous. I'm going to go through 40 bags at this rate. So I ended up getting an empty garbage.
Okay. Now, here's the catch. This system is driven by, this is so complicated working with this. This is all driven by your RF gain. There's a threshold where what you want to look for on your receive audio is you want to decrease the RF gain to the point where you'll hear the noise floor start to drop, but the audio is still strong. Okay, and there's times where you can really crush it. Like on a big signal, you can just reach over and turn the RF gain down, and mine runs oftentimes at about 9 o'clock. And what the RX-DAP system does is it grabs mostly just the audio. All right, so I'm going to show you the free. Oh, and there's one more thing I wanted to show you. What helps is a little bit of noise reduction on the radio. So if you press and hold the NR button, you'll see my noise reduction at level 2 right there. That's pretty good. The problem with the noise reduction on the ICOMs is that it's nothing but a low-pass filter, really. So the more noise reduction you apply to it, the more high end it's going to strip out, which I don't like. But it can be beneficial. There's one more thing I wanted to show you. If you have very noisy band conditions, a lot of QRN static crashing, this is critical. Set your AGC to slow. And this will prevent those rapid static crashings from trashing your RX side. That's huge. That's huge, all right? So those three things: RF gain, noise reduction, and AGC control. Really huge, and that's what helps make the system run. Let's get back over to the other screen quick, and then I'm going to tie it all off. So I'm going to switch this, and it'll take me a second to dial it in. I'm going to switch this to the completely free. This is the ICOM VST RX. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring it online.
Oh, man. A little rough pulling you in, but it was good that I did. Ken, great to have you on the bus, buddy. It's been way too long.
Okay, now if you pay attention,
Okay,
you see this line.
I'm going to go with Ken, and I'm looking for my tail gunner.
You see this line right here? There's two lines on the subtract plugin. What you want to do is you want to adjust your RF gain, or this is a noise reduction plugin. You want to move this slider until this noise floor drops below this line. Okay, that's the whole goal. But you want it sensitive enough so that you'll have a signal come through if he's a little weaker. It's a little bit of a trick. That's why this system is free. It doesn't work as good as a supertone, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. And it looks like get up here to e-cars.
We'll be clear with VE3 NEJ, Terry out of Kitchener, Ontario. And KB1G, Bill, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. KB1G.
Roger, good morning. The frequency's in pretty good shape, present time of day, and getting both long and short. So have a good shift. And I got you in as my last login.
Okay, now what you're hearing there is very pinched, very brittle audio. There's nothing you can do about that. It's not the system. All right. Like I said, so many of these guys talk. Their microphones are literally like, their audio is like talking into a freaking beer can, and I don't quite understand that. But, you know, to each his own. I call it beer can audio. So, anyways, that's basically it. Big difference. I'll show you. I'll go back to the clear, the Supertone clear system. And let's go back up to
Any stations that have anything more than that, contact Net Control directly. And if there's any schedules to be worked out, might do it here, might send you off frequency, depending on the duration. the net is open to everyone. You can be a member of eCars. There's a lifetime and term memberships available, but you don't have to be a member.
That's the raw audio.
Participate in the net. Everybody is welcome.
That's the raw audio from the 7300. I'm going to kick the Supertone Clear back in.
Antenna stations. So they'll always be moved to the front of the line and up periodically. Ask for them specifically. So this is KBONQ with the East Coast Damage Radio Service step before we start checking. Is there any remaining net business traffic schedules, anything like that need to be cleared? Okay, I have a really simple procedure. It's to check in, just kind of double clutch on your push to talk to make sure you're not doubling with somebody. This is not a DX file-up, and you don't have to be.
Okay, guys, so that is basically it. That's how you get it all running. Pretty simple, right? It's not bad. 7-3. We'll catch you all later. And leave the comments open. If you have any issues, let me know. Hopefully I covered everything that needs to be covered. 7-3. We'll catch you all later, man.